Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is December 4th, 2021, and I want to share with you two different articles that are connecting us to the importance of this week of Hanukkah and where we are right now and the things that they are pushing are all connected very importantly to the calendar and to this week of Hanukkah. One of the articles that I want to share with you is what we shared yesterday about the global accord, the World Health Organization global pandemic agreement that is being promoted right now. Okay, I shared with you yesterday about this. This happened and they started pushing this on December 1st. Okay, December 1st, World Health Assembly agrees to launch process to develop historic global pandemic agreement. The second piece of information has to do with the Temple Mount that now between December 2nd and December 3rd, okay, we have this all happening right now together. This global pandemic agreement, they started sharing about this on December 1st, and then on December 2nd and on December 3rd, they have this news coming out from the United Nations. And it says that the United Nations celebrates Hanukkah by declaring the Temple Mount exclusively Muslim and Israel illegal in Jerusalem. Israel is illegal in Jerusalem and the Temple Mount is exclusively Muslim. Okay? This article goes on to say the United Nations General Assembly adopted two resolutions on Wednesday presented by Egypt on Jerusalem and the Golan. 129 countries supported the resolution, 11 voted against it, and 31 abstained, including Austria, Brazil, Germany, India, Kenya, the Netherlands, Ukraine, and the United Kingdom. Referring to the Temple Mount only as Al-Haram al-Sharif, the resolution called for upholding unchanged the historic status quo at the Haram al-Sharif and called any actions by Israel to impose its laws on the city of Jerusalem illegal. Okay? The Arabic reference is ironic as it means the noble sanctuary and is a reference to the Jewish temples that stood at the site. It is also ironic that the resolutions come during the holiday of Hanukkah that commemorates the Jews conquering Jerusalem and rededicating said temples over 2,000 years ago. Okay? So we have the United Nations wanting to take away Jerusalem and the temple site, the temple mount, from the Jews altogether. Okay, Jerusalem Post has this also. 129 nations ignore Jewish ties to Temple Mount, call it solely Muslim. Okay, now a couple things I want to share with you about this. Okay, we've got these two articles, and this looks to me like some type of a global agreement happening at the beginning of the week, the beginning of Hanukkah, a global agreement. And then we have in the middle of the week of Hanukkah, we have something going on, and it's something similar to what is said in Daniel chapter 9, when it says in the middle of the week he causes the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. I just want to share this with you and give you some perspective on the possible meaning of these events. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. Okay, so we have at the beginning of the week, they are pushing a global pandemic accord. And it goes on to say, in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. Okay, so in the middle of Hanukkah, they are taking away. Okay, could this be the canceling of the sacrifices. Now, here is one connection I want to share with you based on these numbers. 129 countries support the resolution. 129 in the Strongs is blood. Okay, 129 is connected to blood. And what are sacrifices connected to? Connected to blood. And blood, especially as shed blood, okay, the righteous blood, shed, the blood of the righteous, the blood of Zacharias, the blood of the New Testament, of Jesus Christ, okay, blood connected to 129, connected to the sacrifices, connected to the canceling of the sacrifices, connected to Israel being stripped, okay. Could this be a sign of judgment that's happening exactly with the solar eclipse, with the middle of Hanukkah? Okay. Now, here is an interesting thing that goes together with this. Now, this just caught my attention. We don't have the new moon yet. The new moon has not been spotted yet. It might be possible later tonight in Hawaii, maybe on the West Coast. The new moon could be possible tonight. If we go to renewedmoon.com, we're going to see that it's pending. Possible observation tonight in Hawaii, maybe on the west coast of the United States. Israel will not have a new moon until December 5th. Well, here we are, and the Drudge Report says violent crime shakes LA. Obviously, this picture is not from today, because here we have the new moon. See, there's something in this picture that's so important. Violent crime shakes LA. Los Angeles, the Angels. Violent crime shakes the Angels. Los Angeles. City of Angels. The Angels, okay? Why do they have the new moon here? There's a message here. There's a sign here going together with where we are right now in the middle of Hanukkah. The total solar eclipse that's going to end the month of Kislev, and it's going to begin the month of Tevet. Okay, it's the new moon of the 10th month, the middle of Hanukkah, the end of Kislev, the beginning of Tevet. And well, anyway, this just really caught my attention on the Drudge Report. Violent crime shakes LA and the new moon, okay? Why are they showing us this is not a picture of today. It's a picture of tonight or tomorrow. It's something that goes together with the reason why there's this uptick in violence. There's a reason why this uptick in chaos is happening. It might be connected to this new moon they're already showing the new moon. Okay, I just want to bring this to everybody's attention. This is a very important detail. It's not a picture of today, nor is it a picture of yesterday. It might be a picture of later tonight or tomorrow. Okay, the new moon over Los Angeles. All right, so, and I'm showing you based on the new moon sighting, it could be possible tonight, and it's not going to be until tomorrow in Israel. Okay, now if we go to the Torah calendar, and quite honestly, the Torah calendar is the most exact, based on the new moon of of November 6th. The new moon of Kislev was November 6th. Okay, so this is following. The Hebrew calendar has it on November 5th. The Torah calendar has it on November 6th, based exactly with the new moon sighting. All right, so the actual dates of Hanukkah then would be starting on November 30th, The Hanukkah Eve is November 29th to November 30th, and Hanukkah is November 30th, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this would take us through then let's see, if we go to the next month here, we're going to see that it's going to take us through the 8th of December. Okay, the 8th of December. But if we go here, we're going to see that the solar eclipse that's already happened, solar eclipse has already taken place over Antarctica, but we're still in this day through sunset. And then it was on this day, I just want to share with you that it was on this day, the 28th day of Kislev, the middle of the week of Hanukkah. This corresponds to the sign that I received on December 12th, 2012. Today, December 4th, midnight Jerusalem, 4 p.m. Central Time, corresponds to the sign that I received in the sun. I received a sign in the sun on Midweek Hanukkah, December 12th, 2012. Okay, now today there's a sign in the sun with the total solar eclipse. It's midweek Hanukkah, the 4th day of Hanukkah. Okay, this is exactly corresponding to the sign that I received. So I'm still very attentive to what's happening today, tonight, possibly for the rapture of the church, still within the next 8 to 24 hours. This would be a very important day in everything that I've seen. Now, it's coming out with this global pact that is happening right here on Hanukkah. It's coming forth with this news about the Temple Mount being taken from Israel. I mean, this could be a sign of world judgment. The United Nations, 129 nations, okay? 129 meaning blood. Okay, this could be a sign of the judgment of God upon the nations as they are trying to strip Israel and ignore Jewish ties to the Temple Mount, calling it solely Muslim. Is this not a sign of judgment right here in the middle of Hanukkah? He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Okay? Why does the Drudge Report show us the new moon when that has not happened yet? This is a sign in here, okay? And the other thing I wanted to share with you is the meaning of this 4th day of Hanukkah in the Torah readings. Today, between December 3rd and December 4th, is called Mi-Ketz. Mi-Ketz. If we go and we open that, we're going to see that Mi-Ketz, today the parashah is Mi-Ketz, which means at the end of. At the end of. Today is Shabbat Mevarikin, which means Sabbath of blessing. It is the last Sabbath before the new moon, Shabbat. And if we look at the Torah reading for Mi-Ketz, which means at the end of, it goes to Genesis 41:1 through 44:17. Okay, if you wanted to read this, you could read this. This would be their scripture reading for the day. And look at what it brings us to. The dream of Pharaoh of the 7 cows. The 7 stalks of corn and the 7 cows. Right here at the end of. Okay, at the end of Genesis 41. It came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and flat-fleshed, and they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine, so Pharaoh awoke. Okay, and then it goes on in his dream, and it could be speaking of the middle of the 14 years, the middle of the tribulation, the end of the prosperity, and the beginning of the hunger, the beginning of the drought and the famine that is coming. Okay, very interesting that this is where. So you can go and read from Genesis 41:1 through 44:17 and see what else you see in that. Um, at this time, I'm not gonna go over all of that, but I think it's very interesting that right away at the beginning of this passage, it brings us right to Pharaoh and the 7 cows. We've been waiting for the sign of the 7 cows, the 2 cows from 2014, remember? And we were waiting, looking at the Feast of Trumpets and the possibility there, and it could be pointing us to where we are right now, at the end of. Me Ketz, at the end of. Okay? So, I just wanted to share these pieces of information with you. We have a global pandemic agreement that's happening. We have the Jews being kicked out of the Temple Mount. The Jews and Israel itself being called illegal in Jerusalem by 129 nations. Okay, 129 is the number of blood, and we have the Drudge Report showing us the new moon. And here we have the middle of the week of Hanukkah. Okay, so I pray you guys are blessed. We are right here. It could be today. It could be during the rest of this time, maybe before the last day of Hanukkah. And I would say we keep our watch all the way through according to the according to the true calendar and the new moon of the month of Kislev. Hanukkah goes through December 8th. Okay, so let us remain vigilant today through the end of Hanukkah and see what happens. Hopefully, we can go home before Hanukkah ends. I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.